Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody. I have something really cool to tell you about. If you haven't heard yet about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain here. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one single place. Now, the way that you can do this is you got to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. and then you can get started. It's really fun. We just switched over recently here at All Too Real 2, and I'm enjoying it so far. So be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. Okay, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Collum II, and with me, as always, is
Matthew Haas.
Yes, and today we have a very special All Too interview episode of All Too Real 2. We have joining us today actor, producer, director, writer, comedian Larry Hankin. You may know him from Escape from Alcatraz, Billy Madison, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Home Alone. He was Mr. Heckles in Friends, and Tom Pepper on Seinfeld. He's had roles in Breaking Bad and recently in the TV show Barry. He was a member of the famed comedy group The Committee, as well as a member of Second City. His film Sally's Diner earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Live Action Short Film. And he is known for his hilarious and layered character in the short subjects of Emmett Demas, which is pretty funny online if you get a chance to watch those. And he's got a book coming out, bunch of other things. Sat down and talked to us, and it was pretty cool, wasn't it, Matt?
Hilarity ensued, and also you'll know him as your new god. Well,
yes,
maybe not, but
I mean he's definitely awesome.
He is. This is a great interview. It's almost an hour long, but it really breezes by.
Yes.
He when he talks, it's just you just want to listen. I mean, it's great.
Some great stories from everything from Annie to working with John Huston and different stories over the years, and working on Barry and different with Bill Hader and all these different things. So check that out, and
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, people. Here he is, Larry Hankin. First off, okay, I'd just like to welcome Larry Hankin to the All Too interview portion of All Too Real 2. How you doing today, Larry?
So far, so good. I'm rehearsing something. I mean, yeah, at home, lines. I'm rehearsing lines. So if I'm rehearsing lines, I'm feeling good,
That's awesome.
Cool.
First off, could you just give us a little bit of, background of how you got started in acting and comedy and all that?
Wow. Well, I actually never wanted to do anything. And I've discovered kind of over the years that, I really never had anything in mind. I just kind of went where I went with the flow. So the flow when I was growing up was my parents who wanted me to be, doctors and lawyers and all that stuff. The nearest I could get to kind of going along with that was I went to college to Syracuse University for industrial design because I like to draw. I was always drawing in high school, while the teacher was saying stuff. And so industrial design sounded, well, I could draw. I mean, I never thought about the mathematics of that decision. But, drawing, industrial design. Because they wanted me to go to college, and that was the flow, so okay. And there I joined the theater because those people were kind of interesting, and I liked what they were doing, and doing lines, and rehearsing, and, it was community thing. So that's what kind of got me to that, because I'm, I guess, not great socially, but okay, and that was the way in. So that kept me there, and then when I met Carl Gottlieb, who was in the journalism department of Syracuse University. He later wrote Jaws, all the Jaws movies, as a matter of fact. And we became friends because he was kind of antisocial too. And so we made a nice pair. He was crazy, man. I mean, the marching band hung Carl Gottlieb in effigy on fire in the middle of the camp. Yeah, he was quite a writer. So we had come around, so that when we graduated together at the same time, we got a little apartment in Greenwich Village. And so I cleaned duckboards in bars late at night. That was what I did. And he wrote reviewed movies. And so while I was, I had nothing to do and not much money, I would go to these coffee houses and watch mainly the free stuff, like the Monday night open mic. So I used to watch them guys a lot. And I was a funny guy in high school. I could do that. So I started doing that, and lo and behold, I was opening for like Woody Allen and Miles Davis, and it turns out that an outsider at that time was cool. I was talking about drugs and cursing on stage and marijuana and the cops and all that stuff. And so I couldn't get on television, so that was a drag at the time. And so nightclubs started to dry up. So my manager told me to go to Second City, join Second City, because they were doing the kind of stuff I was doing and Richie Pryor was doing and George Carlin was doing. Only I just couldn't take the guff of the audience when they didn't like what you were saying on stage. And it just really bothered me. So I thought, theater, okay, that's cool. We own the place. That was the kind of thing that I was going for. And the stage was a lot higher than a nightclub. So a nightclub, just dance floor. The band is only about, 5 inches higher than the dance floor in nightclubs. And so, and the stage at Second City was at least, 3 feet high. So I thought, okay, I don't keep the bad guys over me. No, I would be taken off the stage by cops, and drunks would come at me with beer bottles upside down in their fists, and people throwing stuff. I mean, it was like Lenny Bruce time. It was just, I was too middle class for that. I couldn't. Hey, man, I'm just talking here.
Yeah.
We're just having a conversation. That's all.
That's cool. Yeah.
But no, So, and then a couple of us joined, a couple of us went to Alan Meyerson from Second City. We went to San Francisco and started the committee. So that was kind of cool. And so when we were up in San Francisco with the committee, a lot of stars and more important people would drive up or fly up. And in those days, you could fly up kind of round trip for $20. It was amazing, really cool. Yeah, so they would do that just real easy, boom, the cab fare was the killer. But they would see us and hire us to go down and be in a movie or a TV show. So that's how I kind of went down there. And then Carl was meanwhile writing Jaws and stuff, and he had a mansion. So I kind of couch surfed him for a while, and that was kind of cool. And then somehow Penny Marshall, of all people, but yes, Penny Marshall, who was really a cunning lady, she told somebody, they said, hey, Larry Hankin, maybe he's down here. I saw him in the committee up in San Francisco. We had a dance thing that was written to Laverne and Shirley, and he looks like a physical comedian. I want to dance with him. So they got me, and then that's she and the production company got me a manager down there, and then boom, I was in a lot of sitcoms and stuff like that. But really, where I wanted to go is I'm a stand-up comedian. I mean, that's what I am, you know. I mean, so I'm starting to learn how to be an actor because I just pretend, you know, like in the committee, like when you're improvising, you know, there's no backstory. You just jump in, you know. So that's what I would be doing, kind of, which gets you by, gets you the audition, and gets you, you know, kind of cool parts, but it's not satisfying, you know. And I wasn't really interested in doing the homework. I was a stand-up comedian, you know.
Yeah.
You just hang out and you look around, and then you go. I never wrote. In all the time that I opened for Miles or Woody or Kingston Trio or all of the Loving Spoonful, I toured with bands a lot. I never wrote anything. You know, I had these hunks that I would work on and refine, but nothing was ever written down. So that was another thing. I had to memorize other people's words. That was a bitch, you know. So for me, because I was used to just off the top of my head and then refining that, something that you're already there with. So I'm now, you know, writing my own stuff and making my own little movies and stuff. So that's kind of the art, you know. But along the way, it was kind of a lot of fun and very funny, frankly, you know. Oh, I wrote a book, you know, not about it, but that's kind of the result of. I would write these little things while I was doing, you know, even I can't remember Seinfeld or any of those that era, 70s, 80s, 90s. I was writing, you know, and just putting it in a drawer. So now I'm taking all that stuff out of the drawer. And it's interesting what I was writing about. So that's kind of my interest now. I mean, it's funny. It's satire. It's mockery. You know, good old-fashioned mocking. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
So that's where I'm going. You know, that's where I'm heading. That's where I'm at.
That's cool. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. It sounds like theater and just being on stage and stuff kind of got you out of a shell or something. It sounds like, you know, like a. I know how that is. I'm an actor myself, so once I was able to get on stage, I was able to. I'm like a really shy person, kind of introverted normally. So you know, once I was on stage, it was like, okay, whatever. You know, I don't care. Especially when you have
and then you had other. And you have other people around you, and you're supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not funny right now. No, I'm getting paid to be here, so, you know, mind your own business.
Exactly. So, what would you say is like your like favorite memory so far in like all of your adventures of in entertainment?
Well, when I was in the presence of somebody who I looked up to, you know, like a John Huston or well, there you go. And then when you go, oh, that's why he's who he is. When you suddenly, because I don't get it, you know. I mean, my first meeting of anybody. Not to my credit, it's not cool. I just look at them, you know, oh, hi, how you doing? I don't know background. I don't carry that around. I'm not like I guess I have my own little idols and fandoms. But so, and then later I thought, that was John Huston? Oh, wow. You know, I would have been in awe and couldn't have spoken to him. You know, I'm that kind of person. I was just, oh my God, I didn't know. So, but John Huston, I did. You know, I did Annie in the movie. So, you know, and I had long hair, and I played the dog catcher, and so I kind of knew in the audition that probably they were going to have to cut my hair. I'm a hippie now. My hair was down to my shoulders, and so the first hint I had was, you know, that this lady, the casting director, brought me in front of me. There's no words. I didn't have any words. He just wanted to see me. That was all. And he was in the middle of production, so he was busy with a lot of stuff. And so I was like brought in, and he was was on a director's chair. He was looking at the day's riches on a TV screen while people were building a set or something. So he had no, and so I just brought to him and stood in front of him, and they said, Mr. Houston, here's the dog catcher. And the lady who brought me in, and she was a famous person. I mean, she's working with John Houston. She's casting people. So she's, so she gets behind me and she takes my hair, which was down to my shoulders, and she bundles it up, kind of in our hands. She stands behind me, like into a ponytail, holding it away from my face. So he's looking at me, and he's looking at her, and he says, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Oh, I'm just getting the hair out of his face so you can see what he looks like." And he says, "I'm a director. I have an imagination. Don't touch my actors, please." I thought, that's so cool.
That is.
And that's the first time that anybody ever stuck up for me.
And it was John Houston. That's cool.
So he looked at me, he said, fine. Then he said, fine. He said to me, fine. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know if he said the sir, but it was like that. Thank you very much. I said, thank you, Mr. Houston. And I was trundled out of his presence. And I thought, okay, that's cool. There's a good guy, man. Everything that I know about him has now been totally righteous, So then when I get on the first day of being the dog catcher, I got my hair all shaved off and everything. So I go into that's what I do. I generally go to the costume place first, and you report to the AD who says, here's where your dressing room is or whatever. And then I just go, where's the dressing room? I want to see my costume. I go there. So I go there, and there's tons of costumes. And I go to the lady, and I go, hey, where's my costume? Oh, there he is. He's over there. So I go, I'm the dog catcher. Can I have my costume, please? So he goes, oh, yes, sir. And he's kind of an anal attentive guy. I could just, tell. I mean, and then he hands me this. Are you old enough to remember starch and shirt collars and white collars and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, so he gives me a dog catcher's, which is basically a oneie, whatever you call it. Just cover. It's very thin coverall in a tan collar. It's a thin kind of cloth, but it's all folded into about a 15 by 15 inch square flat, and it's all starch. It's like a board. It's like he's handing me a cardboard board about 2 inches thick. And I go, what's this? He says, that's your costume. So I try to peel it up. Literally, I mean, it's starches. I used to do that to my father's collar, What the hell? It would peel up, and I'd leave the imprint of that, the person. So I was doing that, and I'm going, this is ridiculous, man. I can't even get into this. I'm trying to kind of unfold the sleeves and get my hand up into this. I said, this is ridiculous, man. I'm a dog catcher. I'm catching dogs all day, man. I'm carrying them. This is 1930. I mean, what are you doing? He said, that's your costume. I said, no, I won't do this. I'm not putting this on. No. I'm an actor. I'm standing my ground. I'm speaking for my character. My character wouldn't be wearing this. So he goes, oh, really? I go, yeah, really. He goes, I think we're going to have to see Mr. Houston about this. I go, okay. So he takes it, and he tries to fold it back up. It's hard trying to get into it. So he's folding it back, and he's putting it into a little bundle, and he's taking me, by the show. I'm going, because I'm not fighting this. This is, hey, man, this is my stand. So he's my character. You speak for your character. So he's taking me, and now it rained the night before. This is daytime. It rained the night before, so we're out of the end of wherever the hangar. We're walking across, and so there's puddles all over. There's puddles here, but it's drying up. No big deal. We get to there's John Houston, and again, he's looking at the directions. He's not paying any attention to anybody. And I'm stood in front of him. The guy stands me on it, and he goes, Mr. Houston? Oh, he goes, oh, hello, Larry. Welcome to the set. I go, thank you. And then he said, well, what's going on? And so the costume guy says, this dog catcher here, this actor will not put on this costume, and this is his costume. And I said, well, look at it, Houston. I mean, there's starch in it. There's starch in it. I'm a dog catcher. And Houston had taken us on. He's very calm there. And he just says nicely to the costume guy, would you please give me the costume, please? And the guy says, oh, yes, sir. And everybody calls him sir. Yes, sir. And he hands it to him. And John Houston gets out of the director's chair with the costume. And he walks over to a nice puddle. And he throws it in the puddle. And he walks in the puddle and he steps on it. And he gets it all wet. And he gets it all wet. And then he picks it up and he hands it to the costume guy and says, dry this off and put this focus on this actor. Thank you, Larry. Goes back to the TV set. I thought, cool. Now there's a guy.
Yeah.
There's a director. That's cool. Now, he didn't do that all the time to everybody. It was just the Bo Jess. I mean, these guys, there's such a thing. And I've seen them. And they're amazing. They really are.
And it makes sense. I mean, you want your character to wear the right outfit anyway, so, and plus, he...
Well, but here's the thing, man. Okay, here's the thing. You do that today, or I do that today. Even me and the majors today, they'd be fired in 2 seconds. What do you mean you're not putting on this costume? Who the fuck are you? I mean, that's all. Thank you very much. And then you get another guy, and I've seen that done right in front of me too.
Wow.
Thank you very much. And it's been done to me. I mean, yeah, but then there's these standouts where you go, oh, right, okay, got it. Yeah, that's real. And there's a guy who, everything that anybody said about him is true. Oh, okay. So that's just one. But there's like a lot of, I've had the other way. Here's the exact opposite. It happened to the same guy. Years later, I was doing the committee. So I was part of the committee, and we were famous. We were hired as a group to be in a movie. Jane Fonda movie. Did about a seaplane, a really cool seaplane. I don't know what it's called. She got an Academy Award nomination for it. So it was a kind of important movie. So again, I come in, years later, I come in, I thank you for my, where's the costume department? I go to the costume department, look at the costume there. Where's it? Oh, these are yours. Sometimes they'll just let you look. They'll say, well, this section here on there for a long time. You have costume changes. There's a section that says, Bill Catcher or Larry, whatever. And there'll be like 5 or 6 things on hangers. And they say, well, this is your section. This is your stuff. You can look at it. Try it on. These things. So I'm looking through my stuff and trying something on. And this woman is standing behind me, and she's going, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm just trying on my costumes. How did you get in here? Well, I'm an actor. I just came in. You're not allowed in here. Well, yeah, I am. I just asked those ladies over there, and they go, no. You don't understand. You're not allowed in here. Please leave. I said, no, wait a minute. No. See, these are my costumes. I'm going to put these on. She says, no, you're not going to put these on. You're fired. I go, whoa, what's going on? Who are you? She says, I'm the producer of this movie. You're fired. And she walked away. And I go to these 2 ladies who said, yeah, your costumes are there. I go, who was that? And she said, that's the bitch of Hollywood. That lady is known as and she was, and she's famous, and she wrote a book that she was producing this movie along with her husband. And so I go, what just happened? She was gone. So I go to Alan Myerson, who's the director of the movie, who is the director of the committee. I go, hey, Mayor, I can't, you got to get in your costume. You're going to be in the next scene. I go, no, I've just been fired. So he had to go and talk to her, and got back, and he talked her into it. But see, so there you go.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't cool.
No,
that wasn't done.
No, definitely not.
That was just Hollywood. There's a big difference. That's reality. So it comes and it goes.
Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? Well, I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Superstory podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
Yeah, no one can really. So,
yeah. So check out Superstory Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Superstory Podcast.
Minstrel, fetch me the finest French horns!
Meet Kaylee Fawn, scientist in mind and supervillain at heart.
I remember when my parents made a fuss over me. They hired my TV idol, Professor Phenotype, to visit us for my 6th birthday party. Now I'm not legally allowed near flammable materials until I hit menopause.
Or was that the other way around?
Face my mastery over the elements!
You can hear Kaylee Fawn and her exciting adventures in the upcoming radio comedy, Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
Do you ever get tired of people like recognizing you from any of the films you've been in or anything like that?
It depends upon the vibe, the intent. You know, a lot of people talk about intent now. It depends on the intent and the assumption that you know me.
Yeah.
That I'm, and I can see why. I totally understand why. I mean, your living room a lot. You know, if you recognize me, then you've seen me once or twice. You know, so okay. But then there's the assumption there. But you know, I don't know. There's something cool about it that you can't deny. You can dismiss it by saying it's part of the territory. Well, you asked for it, or hey, that's what happens, or that's the other part of it, you know. But then you got managers, you know, and you got negotiations, and you know you got screwed. That's part of it too.
Yeah.
So it's a draw. It's a wash. You know, it really. I let it go. Whatever. But I remember when it did bother me. That's why. You know, I just said, well, you don't know me. You know what? Or yeah, it was because okay, you said you were shy. So I'm as a private person generally.
Yeah.
You take it as umbrage, not you like my work. I'm sorry. I thought you just were getting in my space, man. I didn't get it. I read you wrong, which is what people like me do all the time. That's why I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm not, it helps not just railing today, I guess, to myself. I'm always writing stuff. Yeah, about the assumptions that I make about reality that are amazing. But I'm looking at, I live near the beach, so there's always a lot of people. And I grew up on the beach, in Far Rockaway, Long Island, which is, and I was a lifeline. So, I'm used to the beach. That's my kind of, but still, a lot of people just throw me, It's just, I'm not seeing what you're seeing. You're seeing, hey, it's umbrellas and we're going swimming. And I'm going, this is a chaos about to happen. I'm getting a rash. I don't know what's happening. It's just, whoa, I'm going home. So, and I sometimes people, there's no way to explain that in the moment. I remember as a kid, I would, like the first time, I was 15 or 16 or 14 or something, I got a camera for the first time, single shot photo. And so my father said, go take pictures of everybody, and because there's all relatives and stuff, it's a big deal. He said, go take relatives, go shot to your relatives, go use it now. He was filming it and stuff like that. So I said, wow, take pictures of all my relatives. And that was the people I knew. So I had an idea that, okay, I will take pictures of all my relatives, which were quite a bit, putting food in their mouth. That was my assignment. So all the pictures of all the relatives at my 13th-year-old birthday was of relatives putting food in their mouth. And when my father, went to the whatever to get the things developed, he goes, what did you do? What is this? I said, you said to take pictures of the relatives. Yeah, but they're all eating. This is embarrassing. I can't show these pictures. They want to take pictures of their party. What do you... So I knew, okay, I'm an outlaw for sure, man. I can just sense it from what I see and what my dad sees.
That reminds me a lot of a time I was at my grandma's birthday party, and my mom gave me a video camera, and I'm a filmmaker, and she's like, go, you like making film, go take a video of everybody and do whatever you want. And so I made this really weird artistic film of my grandma's 80th birthday party, and I was filming the money tree they had at the party and the presents and stuff, and there was hardly any people in my product, and my mom got really mad at me. So yeah. So I understand where you went. So, yeah, you don't give creative people a license, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah. And, you know, it took me, but you see, the thing is that a lot of people who I now, or I did look up to even when I was young, got figured out really right away when they were young, and they said, oh, wait, I can make money off of this.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to figure out, oh, no, I see, no, I'm abnormal and I'm never going to make as normal. But I can make a lot of money off of it. Okay. It's just, you know, but it was the business stuff that, you know, just kept me at arm's distance. I don't know, you know. But, yeah, but it's just cashing in on it. It's just, and finally when you get there, oh, well, actually, as an improviser, that's what I was doing. I was just, you know, taking shots of human beings, putting food in their mouth, and that was called Second City, and, you know, the committee. just mocking. Hey, this is my species, man. You know, that's what I was complaining about today, about my species is frightening. I mean, you know, we're the only animals, you know, carrying around bombs in our pockets. What is that? What are we doing? What if that's not us or them or black or white or red or green? That's up or down. That's not spaceship Earth. That's tenement Earth. We're living in a tenement now. You know, and the rich people are just on top throwing the garbage out the top, and, you know, the people at the bottom. It's top and bottom. Yeah. It ain't you and me. It's top and bottom. So, you know, I mean, I'm just, nothing is all I can do, you know.
I've
until
watched
the apocalypse, you know.
So I've been watching some of your videos that are online of the Emmett Demas and things like that. Those are
cool.
Those are pretty funny.
That's cool now. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. That's all I can do. You know, that's all I can do.
I love the use of the name Emmett. My grandfather's name was Emmett, so I just anytime I hear that name, I'm happy with that. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Emmett Kelly. Yeah. Emmett Kelly, too. That's probably where it comes from.
Yeah, the clown. Yeah. So I know there's kind of like almost like a resurgence of people probably recognizing you due to like Hulu and Netflix with Seinfeld and Friends. I know a lot of people watch Friends. I've probably watched every episode of Friends about 12 times myself.
Wow,
I don't know. It's something I put on in the background when I'm cleaning the house or whatever, you know. So, yeah. So, have you noticed a lot of like younger generations of people noticing you now? From that?
And then people. So now there is a difference right away, which I never had. I was just talking about this. I mean, it's amazing because it's blowing my mind. Because you start to fade, you get into your own thing. Oh, I'm doing this now, and all of a sudden, it's noticeable. I mean, I do notice it, and then people mention it to me. Like I was talking to this lady, came up to me and saying, you know, hey, I saw you on blah, blah, blah. I said, you saw me, you know how long ago I did that? And she goes, oh, yeah, but I said, why were you watching that? And I said, well, my daughter, I just was friends. I said, you're not like a teenager. What? She said, no, my daughter was watching it. She's a big fan of Friends. You know, so she's a big fan of yours. And, you know, so am I, so blah, blah, blah. And I mentioned, and I go, oh, that's, I know. She says, yeah, have you noticed that? I go, well, I'm beginning to. And she said, well, yeah, Friends now and Seinfeld and all those old shows are in resurgence. It's not me. It's but it's a tsunami, and I'm a cork, and it's cool. Mm-hmm. And so but I noticed I'm getting invited. Here's where I noticed it. I noticed it in like Comic-Con and ChillerCon, where I get invited to sign autographs. That's you're an old timer. That's when you're like the antique show. You know, you are what somebody has brought in. It's really weird, man, because the time is being collapsed. It's like I'm in show business like it's dog years. You know, it's like 7 years is what you get now. You're famous and gone, and famous again, and that was like 3 months ago. I just started. And now I'm at Omicron signing autographs. Okay, cool. So it's really interesting. But that's where I noticed it. I was being invited to autograph shows where I've never been invited before. And I'm looking around at the other people at the other tables, arena. I'm looking at all the other people who are signing autographs, and I'm like, gee, these people are old timers. And I'm going, well, I'm here, so I guess. That's funny. Why am I here? Yeah, that's really what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Why am I here? You know? But on the other hand, it's something I've been going for and towards, and it's just my own little thing. But when I was in the committee in Second City, I would tend towards the improv. You know, we were like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, you know, that kind of age group. Well, I would always tend towards being the old-timer in the scene. And there was a scene we were working on for a long time, just between me and Hamilton Camp, where we were two old-timers escaping the home, you know. Now we're getting out of here. I can't take this back anymore, you know. And we're getting out. And it was funny, but we could never get a beginning, middle, and an end. It was just like funny in spots. We could never quite get the whole thing. So I never went into the show. But we always brought it up when they would sort of say an old thing. We said, oh, let's try that, see if we can get it together. So now I'm seeing, and all along, Emmett, that's where Emmett comes from, those scenes. Emmett was always older than me. Like Charlie Chaplin was like 18 or 17 when he was doing that Little Tramp with the mustache.
Yeah.
He was a kid, you know? It was like cool. And even Buster Keaton, they were 18. That was amazing. You know? So you always decline. I think generally the clowns are always older because I guess more physical and able, you know? So anyway, that's where Emmett came from. And now that my hair is gray and stuff, I'm going, well, now wait a minute, I don't have to get a wig. Okay, cool, man. So I'll be able to figure out that scene with Hamilton. Only now I'm doing it with Emmett, and it's working. You know, that's where the Outlaw and the Demons came from. And now I got a new one, Barnaby Justice, which is in the book that I just it's coming out in November. A book called I don't even know the name of my book. I can't remember that. I can't remember. It's called the Loopholes Dossier. That's one story of three biographies that I made up. I always wondered, biography. That would be interesting in my life. I want to make up some three really cool biographies,
That's
and
cool.
mock them. And so so Emmett became morphed into Barnaby Justice, who's a homeless guy. But he's an old guy, and he's on kind of a street, very street, old street. He's been homeless for 40 years. So he knows what's going on. He's really cool. Because I was homeless for about a year. I lived in my car up in San Francisco. And you just see stuff. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at now, is I can actually do the characters that I was pretending back in Second City in the committee. So that's kind of a trip. And that's what I realized, consciously, totally, when I was going to the autograph signings. Oh, I get it. I meant it. Right. Cool. All right.
Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So it's
a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye. So, I know you recently worked with Bill Hader on Barry. How was that? Because I know a lot of people listening love him. So,
That's so cool. That was yeah. See, there you go. That was I would mark that as a high because that's part of that started my total unconscious conscious awareness that wait a minute, something's going on. The tsunami of the antique with the new, with the old with the new. I hadn't worked in the business in 4 years, at least not one job in Hollywood at all in 4 years until they called me, Barry. So that was out of the blue because I was doing my own. That's when I was filming the Outlaw and the Venus. I made 3 of them. I made 4. Then I made another one. I was just shooting my own movie and getting low on cash. So I thought, wow, thank God. But anyway, so I went there, but it was all different than what I had left behind. And I guess the reason I left was I had done, I've been here and I've done this. There was nothing more here. It was like old hat. I just wanted to go away and, okay, I learned what I needed to learn. That was my college years. Now let me see if I learned anything. And then Barry called me. That was so professional. And the great thing was everybody there I admired. I mean, I admired Bill Hader. I admired his writing, producing partner. I admired the crew, the cinematographer, the costume people, because everybody was on the same page, man. That was so terrific to be around. Everybody. I mean, even when I didn't know what was going on, or not that I didn't know whether what I was doing was right on, it turned out it was. In other words, it was kind of like, no, these are my people, finally. I mean, not in any kind of social, but professionally, this is my humor. These people get what Bill Hader gets, what I get, what I like, what you guys like. This is what I live at. This is what I would watch. I finally am in a show where I like what I want to see this show. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was doing. So that's kind of, so that relaxes you. Like, I'm among people who will allow me to be what I'm going to go for. And it turned out that what I was going for was not what Bill Hader had in mind at all. I mean, that was spoken about after I did it.
Oh, wow.
Not before. Yeah.
But they liked what you did.
Again, see, that's the Bo Jess. That's the Bo Jess of the producer, the director, the writer. And all 3 are the same. They all work together. There's 2 guys, Bill and I don't know what the other guy is, but he's brilliant. They wrote it a whole different way, and I came up with that because I'm not an actor. I'm doing an old guy from the committee. That's what was in my head. But here's why. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this to an actor the other day, a real actor who's making his living at it, and he wants to be an actor, and that's what he does, and that's what he is. And it doesn't matter what you're thinking, as long as you're thinking something. It's what the audience thinks you're thinking.
Exactly.
That's where the acting is. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you think you're thinking about what the story is about. If they assume that you're thinking, that's good enough. Mm-hmm. That's what's so great about it. So anyway. With Bill, so it was the first time I was making a backstory. I'd never made a because I'm a committee taker. I just read it and go, yeah, okay, I'm going to go out on the stage. It's just memorizing the stuff. That's kind of what gets me, at the hard part. Anyway, so I thought, okay, I made up his backstory, whatever, old guy, and his backstory. And I come in and I do this part. And Bill Hader loved it because he never said one thing to me. They never gave me any kind of direction. They just let me do it. And I thought, well, I guess I'm doing something right, or I don't know what's going on, but I just keep doing it because I don't know how to do anything else. And then later, Bill or somebody, somebody important that I thought was, I think it was Bill. That's not how we wrote it. But I said, well, why didn't you tell me? He said, no. We wanted you to do what you were doing. And I go, oh, cool. He said, yeah. I said, yeah, because I can do it again. I went, no, it's fine. So that's what I kind of, it was just personal, just off on the side. But, okay, that's what an actor, I think, wants. And they said, okay, I'm telling the story you need to tell in my own little way. I'm not getting in the way. I'm not getting fired. That's where I'm at, just move it along, just tell a story. And the fact that it wasn't what they had in mind, but that's why you hire good actors. Because generally, if they're really good, and that's what the good actors do, they come with something you didn't have in mind. That's why you hired them. Not to do exactly, except for, I hear Spielberg wants you to do what he had in mind.
Yeah.
That's the struggle back.
I hear David Mamet's like that too. Yeah.
Who?
David Mamet. I hear he's like that too. Like you have to say the words exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But see, that's a part of the gig too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nice that you get the Bill Haders, or you're doing it the way they saw it. But my agent a long time ago, one I used to have, he said a very important thing to me. He said, Larry, there's two ways you get a part. You either walk in and they are looking for you, it's yours to lose, or they are not looking for you and you change their mind. That's it. He says, and they're not looking for you. So there's your assignment. I said, okay. I said, cool. As long as I got something, I can work with that. At least I'm not going in stupid, I got something to work with. And so, but I always remember that. Okay, man, just, because you're not, here's what saved me in time. It saved me trying to be what they wanted, what I thought they wanted me to be. That's a waste of time, because I can't do that. Some people can. I guess that's what actors do. I'm not an actor. I'm a stand-up comedian, I pretend, So, but I'm learning. I'm willing to learn. I mean, I'm not putting it down. It's a great craft and way to do stuff and tell your story. And it's just there's work that goes into it, And I wasn't. You got to be willing to do the work. That's kind of a no-brainer there. No-brainer is you got to do the work. Yeah.
And I think a lot of actors are just doing what you're saying, pretending. I mean, it's not like really, I don't think there's
people
more
are
to
so
it.
sensitive.
Yeah.
Well, rescue. I think that was the other thing. That's the other. I mean, you got to know where you are. Mm-hmm. In the scene, you got to know that. But you can't act because they see you acting. You, the audience. We see what you're doing. You're not there. I see it. I mean, people read body language like it's their second language, which is probably their first language.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's movies. Mm-hmm. I mean, they say, come on, man, either be there or go away. I get bored. That's not a good thing, but I get bored very easily. That's why I probably can't memorize lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it. I know. Yeah, I read it. I saw it. Oh, I got to memorize it. Like, okay, cool. But as an actor, yeah. But I grew up watching Charlie Chaplin. That was fascinating. And the reason that I watched Charlie Chaplin was I wanted to find out where Mr. Chaplin was. That's why I was fascinated with Chaplin. Yeah, he was funny, but I thought I could never do that. I mean, he was doing impossible things with his body and his funniness and his budget and his pictures and his framing. No, but I wanted to see where Charlie was. And I was, I had this little thing you wheel, a little 8mm and a little toy, reel to reel and Super 8 and stuff. And I would stop and freeze it. And I would just look at it, and I would try to say, well, where is Charlie Chaplin? You couldn't see it. In other words, he was totally in that character, man. Even if you took his costume off, he was still the little tramp, just in his body language. And I mean, and that's why he was so hypnotizing. So plus, I mean, he's a genius. Yeah, that too. But that was part of it. So yeah, it's lessons way, and still be there. Lessons way more. Anyway, that's the only way I can get into it. As a person.
So
do less.
Yeah, before we let you go, what advice would you give anybody that's young and starting out as an actor or a comedian or director or anything? It was to mention people, you were nominated for an Academy Award for Sally's Diner, which was awesome too. That was a great movie. But like anybody that's trying to get into the business, I mean, not necessarily for fame and fortune, but just wanting to do the craft.
Be at the right time, at the right place, and be really cool. No, I mean, there's no...
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so here's the thing. Ask around. Like you just asked me that question. Ask around. So a lot of people, not just one or two or three people, but a lot of people, and don't believe a fucking one of them. But make up your own mind. But, just like in tennis, don't play with a professional until you hit that ball against the wall at least 5,000 times. Then go, try to play tennis. Now, tennis is not about hitting the ball 5,000 times. It's not about that at all. Just do it, put in the work. You got to put in the work. Whatever it is, I mean, that took me so long. It was hit and miss. I learned by, jumping into the center and then surviving my way to wisdom in the particular arena. At the very old fashioned, I would throw myself into the pool and try to learn to swim to the safety. That's what it is. There's other ways to learn, and also, pick your fights, But the thing that I also learned from me is it's not the same, If I had to give myself advice to how to get into show business today, just from what I just told you guys, you can't do that anymore. Just listen to what I just told you.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go through that to get to where I am or you want to be? Well, maybe I was willing to get to where I am, but are you willing to get where you want to go by doing what I did? I doubt it. So you gotta figure it out.
That's good advice. You can't just jump in and expect to be given a role on a show.
I'm going to Hollywood, and I'm going to be famous. Hey, some people are born doing it, and some people have it kicked out of them, and they got to learn it all over again. It's just, you got to, man, you can go on,
Yeah.
Hey, let's see, you just opened up a can of worms. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. That's it. You gotta want it. Just try to invent yourself.
Well, thank you for your time, Larry. I think we could talk all night, but I don't want to keep you all night and everything. Yeah. So, yeah, this was great. I appreciate it a lot for you coming onto the show. Cool, man. You guys are cool. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah. Is there anything you want to?
Oh, and by the way, I'm coming out, and it's not my movie, but I'm in a big movie that I can't tell you about because I had to sign an NDA. That's coming out in late fall, early winter, but you want to see it. Whether I'm in it or not, you're going to want to see it. But I'm in it, and I got a nice part. And the other thing is to coincide with that. My book, The Loopholes Dossier. It's just mocking stuff. It's funny. It comes out at the same time. It'll be on Kindle and Amazon and stuff. So in the late fall. And meanwhile, I'll be making my little, 1 minute, 2 minute, little Barnaby Justice Emmett things.
Awesome.
Check those out on the internet. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
I loved all those stories and everything. I hope you all enjoyed those. And, if you want to hear some more lengthy interviews like that, just let us know and we can set up some interviews with people from pop culture in general, and we'll get them to you. So anything else to say here, Matt, before we go?
Just as I said in the beginning, you're welcome, people. That's my new catchphrase.
You're welcome, people.
You're okay, everyone. Mine is you're
welcome, people. I love it.
Yeah. It's like a Howard the Duck almost kind of voice. You're welcome. I don't know.
I hope you enjoyed that, folks. A nice little break from our direct-to-video sequels and other things that we've done more often here. But be sure to tune into the next episode if you enjoyed this episode and this is your first time listening. We have a lot of fun with this show. So tune in to the next All Too Real 2, and until then, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.